another criticism, another news, another adventure with your boy Jeremy. No, this is not boy Jeremy channel. This is news, bad news as usual. No, not bad news, just good news. Every news is good. So here we are with Tommy over there. And I have this problem with the tripod. I'll try to fix it. I guess I have the material to fix it, but by now it's just very loose. It's absolutely loose over there. Cannot fix it. Hey, so as usual, I will start trying to find something on Pepe Escobar Telegram. In my own Telegram, I posted some videos like these two ones. Now I know. Now I have the name. I have the name of this community. This community in Spanish says they do informs. They do like podcasts. I will tell you. But in Telegram they don't have a miniature to show. The channel calls. This is a very good channel actually. I recommend if you want to speak Spanish, if you want to learn Spanish. This is a language channel on YouTube that calls, I guess it's Tertulias, yeah. Tertulias en Cuarentena. I guess this channel started in the quarantine, and well, they're always making podcasts like this one. Look, there's always somebody like Sarah Rosenberg. They usually are alive. They have a lot of more followers than me, so that's why they can do a live stream. Well, I don't need to tell you, they are from the left wing. They are kind of revolutionary. They are kind of revolutionary like me. And well, Tertulias en Cuarentena por la abuela, something, yeah, you saw. Well, this channel is very nice. Very nice for the left wing. And then we have this other one that I posted on my Telegram. Another channel. This guy is Ben Norton, I guess. His name is Ben Norton. He's a PhD student in China. This guy, Ben Norton. He made a lot of good videos about China.
China, the main so-called threat to
like this one.
Dominance. And for many years now, the Western media has been extremely biased and has spread a lot of disinformation about China. And these days, to be considered a so-called China expert in the West, really the only...
I'm not sure if he's a robot, an AI character, but he says he's a human being anyway.
But even
the channel calls Geopolitical Economy Report. So
about China.
By now my Telegram channel has these two videos.
Again and again.
And that's it. That's my channel. It's called Sun's Arms. My channel, it calls Sun's Arms like this. Sun's Arms, which means without arms, without weapons. Geoeconomy over geopolitics, because in my ignorance, you know, I guess geopolitics is kind of dirty. It's kind of a dirty subject. And geoeconomy is more constructive. And well, I have there's a lot of Pepe Escobar posts, and that's how we start usually. Strategic culture. Strategic culture, look. And says like this. I need a better support for my camera, but it's fine now. Yeah, now it's fine, I guess. Strategic culture. The big picture behind Victor's the Mediator's peace shuttle. Yeah, Victor Orban is the man of the month. Is the man of the week. You know, Victor Orban saving the world. He's the world hero. Victor Orban is our hero. Victor Orban is our hero. Well, I have a terrible problem here. I hope it's fixed now. Anyway, Strategic Culture Foundation. The big picture behind Victor's the Mediator's peace shuttle. Pepe Escobar. Written by Pepe Escobar. July 9, 2024. The big picture remains the future of rules-based international order is being decided in the black soil of Novorossiya. Viktor Orban is on a roll, and that has set out Rioto's roller coaster. Everyone has been gripped by the extraordinary spectacle of prehistoric specimens wallowing in the Western geopolitical swamp, reaching the depths of Hysteristan, definitely. Yeah, West culture, West society, they are absolutely hysterical. They have mental problems. Despite, this concept, mental health, is just hysterical. Just 1 second. What about a concept like mental health that holds its own problems, its own mental health? Well, what should be mental health? Is like mental health is like if you have a discomfort, something is too wide, and what else? It's kind of shallow. It's a shallow concept. Is hysterical. Is a hysterical concept itself. I guess mental health is an ideology. Mental health this ideology says that it's cool to be neurotic and hysterical, and shallow and desperate. Probably they hate Asian cultures, Asian ideologies. Definitely. For these people, from mental health, if somebody is nihilist or something like that, Buddhist or something, they are against, I guess, in my opinion. Anyway, everyone has been gripped by the extraordinary spectacle of prehistoric specimens wallowing in the Western geopolitical swamp, reaching the depths of Hysteristan, at the site of the Hungarian Prime Minister's peace shuttle moving from Ukraine and Russia to China. And to do that on the eve of the 75th anniversary of warmongering global Robocop NATO has got to be the ultimate affront. The 3-hour-long Putin Victor the Mediator meeting in Moscow was quite something. These are arguably Putin's three main points. One, Kiev cannot allow the idea of a ceasefire because that will remove the pretext for extending martial law. Second, if Kiev ends martial law, it will need to hold presidential elections. The chances of the current Ukrainian authorities winning are close to zero. 3. There should not be a truce for additional Kiev weaponizing. Moscow wants a complete and final endgame. By comparison, these are arguably Orban's three main points. 1. The positions of Russia and Ukraine are very far from each other. Much needs to be done. Second, the war in Ukraine has begun to have an impact on the European economy and its competitiveness as much as the EU leadership may deny it. Third, I heard what Putin thinks about the existing peace initiatives, the ceasefire and negotiations, and the vision of Europe after the war. Orban also made a point of emphasizing the heretic pre-meeting secrecy as means of communication are under total surveillance by the big boys. He described the search for a solution in Ukraine as his Christian duty, and he said he asked three direct questions to Putin: whether peace talks are possible, whether a ceasefire before they begin is realistic, and what Europe's security architecture could look like. Putin said Orban answered all three. The clincher, not for the warmongers, but for the global majority, was Orban's description of Putin. Quote, all negotiations with him, he's always in a good mood. This is the first thing. Secondly, he's more than 100 rational. When he negotiates, when he begins to explain, when he makes an offer saying yes or no, he's super rational. How else can you say it? How else you can say it in Hungarian? Cool-headed, reserved, careful, and punctual. He has discipline. So it is a real challenge to negotiate with him and be prepared to match his intellectual and political level. Subtitle, that new Eurasia security system. All of the above ties up with the concept of a new Eurasia security system proposed last month by Putin, and a key theme of discussion at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO summit in Astana last week. Putin has emphasized that central role of the SCO in the process, stating that a decision was made to turn the SCO regional anti-terrorist structure into a universal center tasked with responding to the entire range of security threats. In a nutshell, the SCO will be arguably the keynote in the new Eurasia-wide indivisibility of security arrangement. This is as huge as it gets. It all started with the concept of Greater Eurasian Partnership proposed by Putin in 2015 and conceptualized by Sergei Karaganov in 2018. Putin took it to another level in his meeting with key Russian diplomats in June. It's time to set up serious bilateral and multilateral guarantees for collective Eurasian security. That should be a security architecture, according to Putin, open to, quote, all Eurasian countries that wish to participate, including European and NATO countries like Turkey. Yeah, Turkey is the only SCO, I guess. I'm not sure if it is SCO. Yeah, looks like it is SCO. I was listening a Pepe Escobar podcast with this judge, and I will show you later. I will show you in just a second, and just a minute. And it should lead to gradually phasing out the military presence of external powers in Eurasia, side by side with establishing alternatives to Western control economic mechanisms, expanding the use of national currencies in settlements, and establishing independent payment systems. In a nutshell, again, a complete geopolitical and technical military revamp as well. I don't know this word, revamp. A complete geopolitical and technical military revamp, as well as geoeconomic. The importance of developing alternative international transport corridors such as the INSTC, the chargé d'affaires of the Russian mission to the EU, Kirill Longvinov tried to brief the Europeans last week under the rubric "New Security Architecture for the Eurasian Continent." Longvinov explained how the Euro-Atlantic concept of security. There's some wind here. Longvinov explained how the Euro-Atlantic concept of security has collapsed. Based on US and NATO dominance, the European regional security framework has failed to ensure the practical implementation of the indivisible security for all principle. Indivisible security for all. A future system of security and cooperation in Eurasia will then form the foundation of the global security architecture in a multipolar world based on the UN Charter principles and the rule of international law. End of quote. That stone was big. And the Great Eurasian Partnership will form. And the Great Eurasian Partnership will form the economic and social basis of this new Eurasian security system. Hell will freeze over before the EU NATO. Hell will freeze over before the EU NATO accept the new reality. I guess it's interesting. Hell will freeze over before the EU NATO accept the new reality. So he's saying that EU NATO will fight this down. But the fact is the already emerging mutual security space within the SCO should make Eurasia minus its Western Europe peninsula, at least for the foreseeable future, more solid in terms of big power strategic stability. Eventually, it will be up to Europe rather far Western Eurasia. Either you remain as lowly vassals under the declining hegemon, or you look east for a sovereign dynamic future. That's what I hope for Italy, because I am Italian, as I always say. I guess Italy's future in any case is better than Chilean future. I'm not sure about Brazil. Brazil has its own problems, but I guess Brazil is a very nice country to live, I guess, despite all the violence, you know. Subtitle: The Russian plan versus all other plans is under the big picture that Putin's peace plan for Ukraine, announced on June 14 in front of the creme de la creme of Russian diplomats, should be understood. Orban certainly got it. Any other plans, with the exception of the revised Chinese offer, and that's why Orban went to Beijing, are irrelevant from Moscow's perspective. Of course, Team Trump had to come up with their own NATO-centered plan. That's not exactly a gift to clueless Europeans. So I will just make a historical comment here. It is very well known that when Germany was defeated in World War I, the First World War, Germans got so upset because of the I forgot now. Because of the sanctions against Germany in the First World War One. Yeah. So that was happened. So, but this time, the World War III, if they fight this World War III, the West will be vanished. You know, the West. So pay attention to the extension of Asia. Asia will not be defeated, you know. That's the whole truth about these sanctions, these winner sanctions. I guess that's over for good. The West will never impose sanctions to any other country. I guess I will put this as a provocation, as a headline provocation. I will say Pepe Escobar say that just as a joke, you know. But that's my, I guess, yeah. Figure out, China will not lose this war, you know. Russia will not lose this war. So all these sanctions the West is trying to impose on Russia, they will take Europe down, you know. They will be the end of Europe itself. All these sanctions will I forgot the concept now. Well, will fire back, you know, will fire back Europe. Anyway, that's not exactly a gift to clueless Europeans. Of course, Team Trump had to come up with their own NATO-centered plan. That's not exactly a gift to clueless Europeans. Under Trump, NATO's role will shift. It will become an auxiliary force in Europe. Washington, of course, will keep its nodes in the empire of bases. In Germany, UK, Turkey, but ground forces, armored vehicles, artillery, logistics, everything, high costs included, will be fully paid by hobbling European economies. Under the coordination of Trump's National Defense Strategy Advisor, Elbridge Colby, the new administration will be promised to give Putin commitments not to expand NATO to the east. Moreover, Trump seems to be ready to consider territorial concessions to Russia, as if Moscow will be praying in unison to get concessions from a notoriously unreliable American president. Yeah, so West will never impose sanctions anymore. That's the headline. The whole point of this plan is that under Trump 2.0, the main threat to the US will be China, not Russia. So the dogs are tired. The dog gets super tired over there. Huh? My Mursi dog over there. She's the. I try to target her with a little stone, but she's just too tired. So goodbye, tired girls. You're a shame. What a shame. But you know, they are very nice. You know, they are very nice. They just got tired, as everybody. Tired of running for stones. Anyway, so the whole point of this plan is that under Trump 2.0, the main threat to the US will be China, not Russia. With only 4 months before the US presidential election, and with the cadaver in the White House at the point of being thrown, especially by powerful donors, under the retirement home, the retirement home bus, it finally downed even on the zombie crown, that the dream of inflicting a strategic defeat on Russia is over. Yeah. So yeah, there will be no. Yeah, I guess there's nothing more to do. You will not. Ukraine will not do a fifth. Nothing. You know, there's over. There's nothing more in Ukraine. Ukraine just lost. Still, the dams in DC and their discombobulated NATO vassals are desperate to impose a Korean scenario, a sham ceasefire, and freeze along the current front lines. In this case, hell will freeze over before Moscow accepts a peace plan that preserves the possibility of a somewhat rump Ukraine entering NATO and the EU in the near future, plus preserving a re-weaponized Ukrainian army on Russia's western front. A freeze of the war now translates a new war in 2 or 3 years with a hugely re-weaponized Kiev. That's not gonna happen, and Moscow's absolute imperative is a neutral Ukraine, fully demilitarized, plus the end of the official de-Russification juggernaut. Orbán arguably is not playing the NATO game of trying to persuade Russia and China to a truce, with Beijing putting pressure on Moscow. Unlike his clueless EU partners, Orbán may have learned a thing or two about the Russia-China strategic partnership. The next 4 months will be frantic, both on the negotiation and the crypto negotiation fronts. The war likely will not end in 2024, and the scenario of a long, dreadful multi-year war may, and the operative word is may, only be dispelled with Trump 2.0, and that over the deep state's collective dead bodies. The big picture remains: the future of the rules-based international order is being decided in the black soil of Novorossiya. Is its unipolar order versus multinodal order. It's unipolar order versus multinodal order. Italics, Pepe's italics. Well, I guess multinodal is better than this. Well, because I didn't understand the black soil of Novorossiya. The black soil. Because I will have to watch the pictures again, because Pepe was impressed by the black soil, but I guess in the world people think more about the black rock. Black rock owns the black soil, something. The black rock will never own the black soil. What about that? That will be another good headline. The black rock will never buy the black soil of Novorossiya. What about that? Black. NATO stand is not in the position to dictate any pathetic mumbo jumbo to Russia. Putin's offer has been the last one. Won't take it. The war will go on all the way until total surrender. Yeah. That's what I think in this channel. They should attack find Zelensky and capture him and make him clean bathrooms in Russia, in Moscow. I want to clean bathrooms in Moscow too. There are no illusions whatsoever in Moscow that the collective West may accept Putin's offer. Sergei Narishkin, the head of the SVR, has been blunt. The conditions only will get worse. Putin announced just the lowest level of Moscow's conditions. Orban may have understood that the real conditions for peace settlement in the DPR, LPR, which is Donetsk and Lugansk, Zaporizhia and Kherson regions, will come to Russia along their original administrative borders. Ukraine will be neutral, nuclear free and not aligned. All collective West sanctions will be lifted and Russia's frozen funds will be refunded. Yeah, will be returned. But what about the interest? That's a shame for Europe, you know? That's a shame for the world. No, you know, I guess that is the most important. Yeah, despite what happened in Iraq, despite what happened in Libya, despite all of that, because NATO, the US steal a lot of money steal a lot of gold from Iraq and Libya, I guess. But Iraq is famous, you know. They stole the gold of Iraq. There are photographs. The stupid Marines. Well, this is in my opinion, as this is the most serious problem, the most serious critic against the rules that the world should be based on, you know, the rules, the rule-based order, the world-based rules. Stealing money, you know, stealing assets, stealing interest because of sanctions, stealing gold from Iraq. That's terrible. That should be the end of UN. That should be the end of everything, the end of NATO, because they are just thieves, you know, they are robbing. Anyway, before any of that happens, such a long shot, Russia has plenty of time. The priority now is a successful BRICS summit next October in Kazan. New presidential aides, Nikolai Patrushev and Aid Dumin, along with the new defense minister Belosov, are honing the big picture strategy. Meanwhile, there's always the nature show as a side show, so peaceful, so peaceful, so benign, so democratic, such cool production values. Join the fun. Meanwhile, there's always the nature show as a side show, so peaceful. Yeah, so nature is terrible. So you're stealing Russian assets, stealing Iraq gold, the views of individual contributors not necessarily represent those of Strategic Culture Foundation. And that was the first article. What a huge article. But now I will show you Pepe Escobar on YouTube, just giving an interview to this judge, but I don't remember this judge. He's a judge who have propaganda from he has propaganda from well, this one. You will see a gold propaganda. Judge Andrew Napolitano. Well, there's a video, a lot of interviews, and this last interview, Pepe Escobar says that explains something about the SCO, Shanghai military cooperation, and well, that's why there will be no war in Asia.
Hi everyone, Judge Andrew Napolitano here for Judging Freedom. Today is Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. Pepe Escobar is here on something you probably didn't even see in the Western press. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a game changer. But first this. You all know that I am a paid spokesperson for Lear Capital, but I'm also a customer, a very satisfied customer. About a year ago,
He's poor. Yeah, so I should buy gold too. No, I have some money in Brazil and I should buy something. But what? You know, I don't have a car to go to take my precious gold with safety. So that's why I didn't buy nothing. I just left my money on the bank because of security issues in Brazil. I guess it's too dangerous to take so much money on the street with you. And now we go to now let's Pepe Escobar. All about Pepe Escobar. And we have another one. Italian. The big picture behind Victor, the mediator's peace shuttle. Yeah. My opinion, Pepe, this article of yours, the latest Urban article that I just read, it got a little to say. You forgot about Victor Urban, Pepe. In my opinion. We have another from Pepe Escobar Telegram. July 10, Pepe Escobar from Eurasia Multipolarity. A nice name for a Telegram community. I'm going to join, and I just joined. Yeah. So I have three channels now. Eurasia Multipolarity. Orban made a gloomy prediction for Russia and Europe. It will be much worse. It will be much worse. The military train has no brakes and the driver has gone crazy. It seems very likely, upon careful consideration, of course, that all this fuss about pacification or bans showing around the world, statements by Bulgaria and Turkey about the need for negotiations and their mediation, they are not really about peace between Russia and Ukraine. Part of Europe has realized that it is being dragged and pushed into a big war, which is becoming almost inevitable. According to the old and unkind European tradition, Poland is the point of crystallization of the war. Kiev's representative, former Ukrainian President Zelensky. What? Former Ukrainian President? This says former Ukrainian President, but I didn't know that Zelensky is not the president anymore. I will check this right now. Zelensky. No, right here saying that Zelensky is still the president. Well, Google is saying it's all fine. It's not the former, but it's president himself. Former Ukrainian President Zelensky said that the Polish-Ukrainian security agreement signed in Warsaw provides for the possibility of Polish side intercepting Russian missiles in Ukraine airspace. Maybe Zelensky is the former president of the Polish-Ukrainian security agreement, but I didn't know that agreements has a president. Anyway, provides for the possibility of the Polish side intercepting Russian missiles in Ukrainian airspace. A tactically understandable decision is that the Russian aerospace forces have taken out the air defense of Ukraine and those airfields where the F-16s could be based. Now Kiev's hope is that the Poles will cover the border strip with Poland by 15 to 20 kilometers. For how long the Polish air defense will last, the Western fighters can be kept in this strip. But strategically, this is another step towards dragging NATO into a full-fledged war with Russia. Here, for example, is the assessment of the leader of the French Patriots Party, Florian Philippot. Quote, "The war in Ukraine is sliding further a global conflict thanks to this incredible agreement that Zelensky concluded with Donald Tusk." Donald Tusk? Maybe Donald Trump? No, Donald Tusk. The security agreement signed today in Warsaw allows the Polish army to shoot down Russian missiles and drones in the airspace of Ukraine. It's called joining the war on the initiative of that very Europeanist Tusk. Let's remember that Poland's membership in the EU and NATO will require us to show solidarity if Poland goes to war with Russia. Let's urgently stop this madness. The Baltic states are not waiting but preparing. Together with other Baltic countries, Estonia is developing a drone wall project to protect airspace. By 2027, Estonia plans to spend 1.3 billion euros to replenish ammunition stocks, including kamikaze drones, long-range artillery, HIMARS complexes, and medium-range air defense systems. In 2025, concrete protective bunkers will be installed on the borders with Russia. Trenches will be dug. Anti-tank weapons, including mines, will be installed. This is the notorious gun that hangs in the first act of the stage. Orbán, who issued a gloomy statement that what lies ahead is much worse than we think, writes bluntly in his article European Governments in the Thick of War. Europe is preparing for war. Every day they announce the opening of the next stage on the way to hell. We are showered with this every day. Hundreds of millions of euros to Ukraine, the deployment of nuclear weapons in the middle of Europe, the recruitment of our sons into foreign armies, the NATO mission in Ukraine, the sending of European military units to Ukraine. My friends, it feels like a military train has no brakes and the driver has gone crazy. We have to hit the emergency brakes so that at least those who want to can get off the train and not participate in the war. It is not difficult to guess who is the driver of this train. Hint: the driver has gone crazy, according to Ruslan Kozykin in 2004. In 2004, the American military presence in Europe amounted to 100 people and 4 aircraft. In 2023, 36,000 people and 92 aircraft. In 2024, 80,000 were already caught up. Only in the Belarusian border, according to him, a group of 11,000 American soldiers has been deployed. Orbán is now trying to be the brake on the military train and involve as many Europeans and world leaders as possible in braking. He notices correctly everything is simple for Putin. Look at the facts, energy sources and population. Putin cannot lose. If you look at the soldiers, weapons and technologies that are used in the war, then defeating Russia is a difficult idea to even imagine. So yeah, and that's why Belarus is now part of the SCO. I just have this campaign. It's not a propaganda to buy gold. We have a new video. Oh, but Daniel Jadue new video, but what's that? Daniel Jadue is in prison. Daniel Jadue is in prison. No, there's no new video. Just the old videos in which Daniel Jadue is explaining why Chile is so unfair. So there's so much injustice in Chile as a global South country.
Bueno, hay cada vez menos personas que creen que las instituciones funcionan en nuestro país.
Quiero que no pase, Violita, con bueno, algo dijiste, pero expláyate un poco más. ¿Qué instrumento de salud trajeron para Recoleta y en qué lugar de Recoleta está, dijiste? Hablaste de un instrumento de salud.
Está en el COSAM un nuevo ecógrafo que se está haciendo cargo hoy día de poder llevar adelante todas las ecografías de las mujeres que están gestando.
Perfecto. ¿Y eso cómo se compra en Recoleta? ¿De dónde sale el billete para eso? O sea, ¿es una prioridad? ¿Se pide un préstamo? ¿Qué onda para entender un poco?
Aquí hay una muy buena inversión municipal que le abarata la vida a todas las mujeres que están en gestación y que incluso hace gratis las primeras 2 ecografías y hace a un valor mucho menor cuando no hay nomás, ¿no? Las ecografías durante todo el proceso. ¿No? Y estamos muy satisfechos y muy contentos de que esto haya llegado.
Qué bueno. Oye, Daniel Jadue, en el Sin Maquillaje número 181, hoy miércoles 8 de mayo, en todas las plataformas de la
Jimena Fernández aporta un dato que puede ser importante. Dice, se autodenuncian y creen que se salvan. Como el gallo que se...
You know, as you know, I care a lot of dogs. This Daniel Jadue is in prison now because of financing social assistance for Chilean people in his council in Recoleta municipality in the metropolitan region. The question is, Chile under Boric, Chile right now is a hell for dogs. You know, there's a lot of poverty and people are abandoned dogs because Boric is just globalist as Trudeau, Biden, and that's how the world is. People will vote to Trump, a Bolsonaro, which is Antonio Cast, and I don't blame them. This country is going crazy. It's a misery. It's a complete misery. People are abandoned dogs. I just saw a Great Dane, a lot of poodles.